Hi everybody. I hope that everyone got the memo that I am live today talking about from my kitchen, hummus. How to make homemade hummus. Now, I will say part of the reason why I was so driven to perfect my recipe on hummus was because every time I would purchase hummus from the store and buy it, keep it in my fridge, it would sit and sit and sit. And what I found was none of us were really eating it. Now, there are better and better recipes out there for hummus, and we've tried many of them. But there's always this layer of aftertaste to them that I just can't stand. And the recipes that I've made prior to weren't that great at home. So I've been working on this recipe for months and months on and off. And I think I've got the proportions down. Now, I have made it with chickpeas, white chickpeas, garbanzo beans, but today I'm gonna try black chickpeas. And if you're not familiar with black chickpeas, they are called kala, K-A, means black in Hindi. Chana is the word for chickpea. So whenever you see anything on Indian products with chana, like chana masala, chana curry, chana kala chana, kabuli chana. Kabuli chana is actually the white chickpea. Kala chana is the black chickpea. And some will ask, well, what's the difference? Well, think about it this way. We've got chana dal, right? Many of us know about that because it's a very low glycemic index food. Those that have diabetes are recommended to eat chana dal. Where does chana dal? Think about that. Chana and dal. Where does that come from? Well, it comes from the kala chana. The kala chana is skinned, it's split, and that's chana dal. Chana dal is then used to make besan. Besan is ground chickpea flour. Well, because from kala chana. So it's interesting, right? All right, so let me flip the camera and I'm going to show you what we're doing. And you're going to have to just, unfortunately, like I've been dealing with some of these network blips. I've got them going on in my house. I'm sure you do too. We're all on our internets and whatnot. This is black chickpeas. And the way I've made them is I cook them in my Instant Pot. So 1 cup, 2 cups water. If you want to grab a pen and paper, please do, and take some notes. And I cooked it for 15 minutes. What I found is it came out, these are slightly meatier and heartier than the white chickpea, so it needs an extra 5 minutes in the pressure cooker. So I've already noticed that I'm going to have to change that recipe around just a tiny bit. But for our purposes, I can't do that. I can't cook it a little more. So that's okay. It's still, cooked. It just needs another couple minutes. So about 5 minutes would have done it. If you did if you did white chickpeas, it would have been just the 15 minutes. Now, here's the thing. You want to, when you are going to go and cook these, you're going to look through them, make sure there's no little gravel or anything like that. Usually most legumes now are cleaner than they used to be, so it's not a problem. You gotta wash them well and then soak them. I soak them in boiling water. I get that boiling water from my kettle, my electric kettle in my kitchen. I just pour that boiling water on and I soak them for 10 to 15 minutes as I'm prepping other things. And then drain them, throw that drained water away, and then cook them in fresh water. So 1 cup, 2 cups of water, 1 cup product, 2 cups of water in your Instant Pot. This is a 3-quart Instant Pot, and I hope you all know that this is what that hole is for the handle and for the lid to just kind of set in there. It's kind of cool. A lot of people don't know that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because we're done with this. And here you go. This is the cooked chickpea with the water. Why did I put it in a colander like this where I can save my water? Well, because that is the magical trick to amazing hummus. It's called aquafaba. There's actually a word for it, for that water that you cooked with. It's not the water that you soaked your chickpeas in. It's the water that you cook them in. You do not want to get rid of that. Now, here's the thing. Typically, you save the water from the white chickpea. The water that we've saved from the black chickpea is going to be darker, and so it's not going to be as great as an egg replacer in baked goods and that and this and that, but because of that darker color. But for our purposes, it's fine. Sometimes I'll just save the water from my white chickpeas and use it sometimes for my gala chana hummus. But you can just choose to do what you want. We want about 3/4 cup. And there we've got it. And I'll save this for soup broth. I'll make soups and stews. It's not much left here, I know, but I will stick it in a glass jar in my fridge, and often I will use it for soups and stews later. All right, so now we've got our black chickpeas. Now this could have been white chickpeas. It would have been fine, but we decided to do black, and I'm going to take them over here, and let's just get this out of the way. A little bit of water there. It's okay if it drains right into that bowl, and I use it later. No big deal. And we're going to put this into our food processor. There you go. So that was your 1 cup of chickpeas that you cooked, either white or black. Again, I use the black because I want to try something a little bit different today. If you want to use the white chickpeas and you have garbanzo beans, if you want to use another legume, a zucchini bean, I could substitute, anything really, any kind of whole or split and skin, but I like the whole. I just love all of the skin and the nutrients that you get from that chickpea. Now, here are my notes, and this is why I feel like I'm such a mess half the time. This is how I update my recipes in this one notebook, and hopefully I will, maybe put this in my will and give it to my kids at some point. Who knows if they want it, but it's got all my handwritten notes. So we've got the 1 cup cooked chickpeas usually equals 2 cups. 1 cup uncooked, equals 2 cups cooked. We're going to drain it and reserve, I think, 3/4 cup of that water, which we did. And then we want 3 cloves of garlic. Here's my prep station. I keep everything on a tray so that I have everything per recipe on different trays and I don't get confused. I want to go ahead and put the 3 cloves of garlic minced right in there. We'll go ahead and grab all of it out of there. And remember, garlic is your friend these days as we boost our immune systems. Gotta get fresh raw garlic into your day. It's so, so good for you. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my black pepper. I used about a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and you're wondering, I'm sure, what else is in there. I always put a pinch of turmeric powder in with my black pepper. The combination of turmeric and black pepper is so good for your immune system. And Paul, you don't need to mince it. I agree on the garlic. You could probably have put it right in. I don't know, it's just kind of like that mental thing probably for me. I just like it chopped up to know that it really kind of blends down. Sometimes I've got an old food processor, so just want to make sure it all kind of blends down really well and evenly. So that's probably all why, but that's a great question. And sometimes I need all of you to ask me those questions for me to kind of wonder why I do certain things too. So we've got now 4 tablespoons of tahini. Tahini is just sesame seeds, and you can buy this just about anywhere now. I bought mine at Trader Joe's, organic tahini, and so delicious and so healthy for you. And that is the secret to really good hummus, or one of the secrets. And look at this, we need another set of hands here, but nobody is going to come and help me in this house because they're all doing their own thing. We've got one kid still sleeping, believe it or not. We've got another kid working on ACT prep. Who knows when she'll be able to take the ACT. And then my 3rd kid, my husband, is working in my office. Crazy. Thanks, Angela. I'm so glad you think so. That's the key when you've got great, delicious ingredients and they're fresh. How can you lose, right? So we're gonna go ahead and try to scrape out as much as we can with one hand. You'll have two when you're doing this. And then I'm gonna put in my salt. I used 2 teaspoons of salt. And then that is it. Let's see, let's read the recipe. Put chickpeas, garlic, tahini, salt, and pepper in the food processor and the water. So I'm gonna go ahead and start processing this. So we've got 3/4 cup water, right? That's what I'm talking to, the aquafaba is what I'm referring to. All right, let's get this nice and closed up. I'm gonna turn this on and I'm gonna add the water as I go. Now keep in mind that because if you came in a little bit late, like some of you like Tom, that's okay. The chickpeas that I cooked with, the black chickpeas, I could have cooked them a little bit more, so they're gonna be a little al dente in this. I would cook my black chickpeas 20 minutes in the Instant Pot, my white chickpeas 15 minutes. So just keep that in mind. And I don't use canned beans. You really don't need to, because the dried are so easy to cook now, especially if you have your Instant Pots, so fast. So I don't use the liquid in the can, but if you cook with them, you know what's in that liquid, so I would go ahead and use it. So see how beautifully that comes together? I'm not done yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and just take a quick look at it. All right. So coming together, not quite there yet. So we've added that water, the aquafaba, the water from the cooked chickpeas, not the water used for soaking the chickpeas, the cooked water. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on again, and I'm gonna add in my lemon juice. Now, lemon juice, interestingly enough, a lot of folks will use 1 lemon in their recipes. I love it super, super lemony. So 2 lemons, and that's about 4 ounces, you can see right there. And what we may actually do is swap the order. I'm gonna go ahead and put my oil in. Notice I haven't even used olive oil yet, and I already have it at a point where it looks pretty good. It's really blended down pretty well. So I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And look at this, add at the end. I'm gonna go ahead and add that in now and then add my lemon juice. Okay, any questions? Let me know. We're gonna keep going here. So here we go. Now the lemon juice. Just hold on to your lid and your other portions of your juicer if you're using one. Look at that. Now, because this was a little al dente and I really needed those chickpeas to cook up a little bit more, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the aquafaba, the leftover water. We're not doing anything with it anyway right now, so let's add it in and get it creamier. Paul, great question. With all the flavored commercial hummus, have you ever tried to make one with garam masala or other traditional ingredients? Absolutely. If you take a look at indianasapplepie.com, just in the search button, search hummus, you'll see what I've done with all the Indian flavoring. I use this as my base. I will lay it out on a plate, and then I will put a little Indian tadka on it, and it is beautiful. We have a couple different options. We can do whole coriander, cumin, do whatever you want, and mustard seed, and so you add another sort of Indian taste profile to it. All right, let's add in a little bit more of that aquafaba, the water from the cooked chickpeas. Now it's really going. Look at that. All right, so that's where I want it, really, really nice and creamy. There we go. Look at that. Whoops, sorry about that. And DeMarco, you ask, how long should you cook the chickpeas? So what I do is, just so you know, I soak them in boiling water, hot water, for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you're using room temp water, then I'd say soak them about an hour. I drain them, and I cook them in my Instant Pot. So it'll be about 20 minutes for black chickpeas and about 15 minutes for white chickpeas. All right, I'm gonna taste it. That is actually phenomenal. So here's the thing. See how beautiful and creamy that looks? You got it there with such little oil. 3 tablespoons of oil in this entire batch of hummus gave you the creaminess because you used the cooking water from your chickpeas. And that's what I was doing wrong for a while. I was compensating, adding more oil, and you really, truly don't need to do that. I don't mind high quality olive oils, but if you don't need that extra fat, why put it in there? So use your cooking water to make your hummus. Now the recipe is already on indianasapplepie.com, so check out the website, pop on there, in the search button, click, or type in rather, hummus, and it'll pop up for you. So Deborah, hi, you've been watching while you were working out. Oh, that's awesome, I love it. And here's the thing, folks, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I will say, these days are not easy for any of us. And the best way I think to get through it is by making sure you have healthy food that has amazing, delicious ingredients in it that are great for your immune system, and you exercise. So Deborah, way to go. I worked out today. I not only did a workout with my trainer on my phone, I also went for a run. We social distanced while we were running. We were sure to do that. But the exercise and the eating well is really, really great. Now, Paul, your question is the flavor different with the black chickpeas? What is the biggest difference on the black chickpeas? You know, it's a great question. So the flavor is a little bit different. On the hummus, it's a little bit more earthy. Here's the thing. The key is on the black chickpea, and this is why I push that. It is a heartier, meatier version of the chickpea. Lower on the glycemic index than the white chickpea. So a little bit better for you, especially if you are fighting diabetes or whatever. I like knowing what's in my food and going for those lower GI foods as well. I will say too, it makes a phenomenal veggie burger, and that may be the next little segment that we do and we talk about is how to make veggie burgers out of your black chickpeas versus black beans, that traditional Mexican black bean. I like it, don't get me wrong. It's a very soft consistency, but when you cook these black chickpeas, they are not soft, they're almost meaty in terms of texture. And so they're really great for things like a veggie burger or things like a kebab that you may not want to make out of meat. You want to make veggie. I've actually made kebabs out of the black chickpeas with my traditional Indian spices, and I've given it to my husband, who's a devoted carnivore, and he has thought that it was meat. So there's a level of umami and texture to this black chickpea that I really think people need, especially in the food world, to discover. And it is something that I talk about all the time. I've got a amazing black chickpea curry in the Instant Pot. It's on my website, indianasapplepie.com. Check it out. If you want to purchase the black chickpeas, if you're in Chicago, Indiana's Apple Pie is my company. We're on the shelf at Whole Foods in Chicago, Lincoln Park, Lakeview, and we can pretty much in most of the Midwest get on the shelf. So if you just go in there and you tell them you want Indiana's Apple Pie products, and they will be able to pull us onto the shelf. But we're happy to also take your orders from our website, indianasapplepie.com. I sell through there as well. Yeah, you know, Tom, here's the thing, and I will just speak to this a little bit about being plant-based. I've been plant-based for over 30 years, and I think the best way to get folks to try this whole concept of eating more plant-based foods, less than me saying to you, do it, I'd prefer to give you options on delicious foods that you won't even miss the meat for. So I'd rather give you foods and recipes that you're gonna love and enjoy so that you automatically want to eat more plant-based. And that's really how I do it. In our house, we're probably 98% plant-based. And I don't judge how you eat in your home. I just say, hey, I'm gonna give you a great recipe, try it, and tell me what you think. And most people don't even miss the meat when they cook my recipes because they are so good, so full of flavor. And even the veggie burger, I gotta say, most of my carnivore friends would never ask for a meat burger after eating my veggie burger. But I'd be happy to share that recipe with you. I will work on it. I wanna make a batch for my kids as well. Yeah, so it is tough to give up. Dairy can be tough to give up, but you have to know how to substitute the ingredients for things that taste as good. So that's the key, is just finding that substitute that gives you that comfort, because even now, I mean, we're living through such difficult times. You don't want to take away people's food, but you do want to give them replacements, healthier replacements for the foods they eat. Like I gave you a replacement today for your hummus. Use the aquafaba versus the olive oil. Now you've just cut down by half the amount of olive oil that's going to go into your hummus. So I hope that helps. Thank you all for watching and spending a little time with me in my kitchen. I am going to go ahead and offer this hummus up to my little prima donnas that are upstairs hanging out and that always require lunch around this time. And I hope that you will try it out as well. Send me your questions if you have any more, and I'd be happy to answer all of them. And let's just do it. You know, every day, find another fun ingredient, maybe every week, once a week, try a different recipe in your house. And I hope you're gonna try to make hummus at home now, because you are gonna save money and you will save time. You won't even have to go outside your house. I'm sure you've got some kind of chickpea laying around, sitting around, and you're gonna use up all the ingredients in your house. All right, so thank you for watching. Check me out on YouTube. Indiana's Apple Pie is the YouTube channel. Subscribe, folks, because we're gonna rock this thing. We're gonna take it from blog to website, to YouTube, to Facebook Live, all of it. And Tom, on the pita chips, yes, we're gonna use pita chips. We're gonna make them. We're also gonna do probably roti chips. And then for me, I'm trying to go lighter these days. I'm gonna cut up a ton of veggies, and I'm gonna have that for me. So if you're going lighter, I'll show you a way to do that. If you wanna go for the pita and the naan chips or the roti chips, you can do that as well. We'll have it all for you. All right? Take care, folks. Enjoy your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. All right? See you later. Bye.